Okay, let's create a blank database in SQL Server in order to use it with AccuSQL 2015. Now the first thing I'd like to mention here is we do need the SQL driver, the connectivity client to the SQL Server database. If it's not already installed on the client, you'll need to install that first. SQL and CLI.msi is 32-bit, and the 64-bit is x64. So you'll see when you test your database connection, if it comes up with an OLE dispatch exception error, that means you haven't installed the native driver for SQL Server. Okay, but anyway, I'll go ahead and open AccuSQL 2015. Okay, and log in as an administrator. I'll pick database, and then I'm going to pick create blank SQL DB. Now I do need to have SA access to my SQL Server in order to accomplish this. So I'll put my server in. If I'm using a particular port versus the default, you can add the port with a comma here. So I'll use my SQL Server SA credentials. And I can name the database what I'd like. I don't need anything in the owner. I can create a public account for that database right here on the fly if I'd like. And here's where I can test my connection. Once that's satisfied, that would mean that I've installed the native client properly. Then I'm going to click Create Blank Database. Okay, and that'll go out and create that Accu2015 in this case out in my SQL Server instance that I'm pointing to. And that process just takes a moment. Once it's completed, now I can go to my database location and put my server information. Now I was already pointing to a different database on that server, but I can click here from my drop-down box, and I can use my public account that I just created too, by the way. So here's my Accu2015. If I go to my SQL Server authentication here, I can use my public AccuTrack account, test my connection, save, and it says I have to exit for changes to take effect, so I'll do so. Now I'll open AccuSQL 2015 again. And I can verify that I'm using that database back in my database location. There it is. And then when I look, I won't have any information. It's a blank database. Okay, so now I'm ready to do imports and build my usage for the students for the next semester. Okay, thanks.